So today I want to talk about using morale in your D&D game. Okay, so a little bit about the evolution of morale in D&D. Morale got its start in wargaming, specifically in '71 when chainmail came out. Morale was very much so baked in to the game. It had multiple tables, triggers, the bookkeeping involved in miniatures, and it was very much so a part of the game. This is a copy of the third edition, and yeah, there's a whole section on morale that works really well for chainmail. Now in '74, when the OD&D came out, it was expected that the rules from chainmail were to be ported into OD&D, and that system used, I think early on it was a D6 in chainmail, and then it moved to a 2D6 in chainmail. So those two, there's references to both, but 2D6, and the higher the number, the harder for the morale to fail. So that's kind of where it got started there. And then in '77, when Holmes came out, it didn't really do a big reference to morale in it could be used, but there really wasn't a modification or a absolute system for morale in Holmes. Now, when in '79, the late '70s there, when first edition came out, first edition had a very specific formula for morale. It changed its specific 100%. It moved from D6s to a D100, where 50% base, and then for the monster's hit die, it adjusted upward, and it was actually a good system if you got the hang of it, but it entirely changed and moved from the D6s. Then Molde comes out in '81, and some people say this is kind of the gold standard of morale. And it went back to the 2D6 method. And what was really kind of beautiful about that is that each monster had its own rating in the description. So just like before, the higher the morale, the more fearless the creature was. And then, let's say if a morale of a 2 for the monster, they wouldn't fight. So that that was a really good, easy laid out way of doing morale. And then second edition comes out, and they change it in the late '80s. They change it to a 2D10 mechanic, and with lots of situational modifiers, more granularity, but kind of shaky in my opinion. It definitely changed how morale was. And then third edition comes out. Third edition kind of did away with it completely, and it turned it into more of a skill system, all sorts of different mechanics, but no like unified morale rule. I also failed to mention that BECMI Basic also had a morale system that I don't think was very different than Molbe. I think it's kind of ported over, but I could be wrong about that. Those monsters in BECMI had a stat just like Molbe did. So I'm now going to talk about the two systems of morale that I have used before. And since I run most of my games, and I'm kind of a purist with AD&D, I'll talk about the AD&D method first. So AD&D uses a system of a D100 where the base morale is 50% and plus 5% per hit die of the creature, and then there's some other modifiers plus 1% per plus on the hit die, and the higher the score, the just like the D6 method is makes that monster harder to break morale. There are, and this is all on page 67 of the DMG. There are also situational modifiers that you could add. Basically when the enemy is deserting, and if an enemy is slain, there's pluses and minuses to that, and those go to the die roll. So basically the DM will roll a die, and if it exceeds that base number that you come up with based on their hit die, the monster will either break morale of some sort. So during a morale failure, there is another subtable that the dungeon master would look at, and you basically look at the difference between your failed roll. So let's say a creature had a 65% morale, and I rolled an 80% on my die roll. Well, that would be a 20% difference. So you'd look on the table, and between 16 and 30%, they would disengage or retreat. Pretty basic, a little clunky, but once you get used to that method of doing morale, it can go pretty quick. Step one, you calculate the base morale for the monster. Step two, you roll. And step three, you add your modifiers to that roll. Step four, you determine if it's a failure or a success. And step five, if it's a failure, you go to the morale failure table. The other system that I use or have used in the past is just go back to using Move in the 2d6 system. The only problem I have with that is because I do run my games in AD&D, I have to go in Move and reference what those values are, because they're not in, it's a different system for AD&D, obviously. So the solution that I have is I actually bought back in the day a BX Monster Reference Index. It's a kind of a flip book. This was on the Kickstarter back in the day. I'll put it in the show notes of where I got it. I think they might be still on drive-through, but it's kind of cool. It's got every imaginable monster available, and there is a column, if you guys can see that column, of morale, and super easy reference. So what I do is I just grab that stat, roll against it, apply any kind of, as a DM also, I should say, you can apply situational adjustments for morale in 2d6 also. You're the DM, you can do what you want. But yeah, that's kind of a fast way of doing morale too. Now that's morale for monsters. AD&D did offer a very, I wouldn't say complex system, but a system that involved, it was called loyalty, that factored into the morale of your hirelings and henchmen, et cetera. So I'll do another video on that later on. So that's morale in a nutshell. These are the two systems that I pull morale from. I'd love to hear in the comments below what you guys do with morale, whether you use it or don't. All right, guys. Well, thanks for viewing in, and please remember to hit that like button and subscribe, share, do whatever you can. Really appreciate you guys joining in. All right. Bye now.